Today, we're going to talk about the impact that a big man can have on the offense and how much stress it puts on the defense, even when they switch defenses from one to another. And no matter what the defense is, they can still have a massive impact, and why I frankly think is probably going to be the way of the future. Before we start, I just want to give a quick shout out. Buy Me a Coffee is the web link. Feel free to check it out. If you have a monthly donation, I'll include your name or a little short phrase in all my videos, or temporarily some of my videos, depending on what you do. Just kind of testing out. Let's go. So the player that we're talking about today is nuanced. He is a relatively good three-point shooter, especially given the fact that he is a post player as well. So we're going to watch how Ohio State handles ball screens. So the first thing we can see is they're going to re-kick it out. Okay, when this ball screen happens, what does this big do? This is the man guarding nuanced, and they are trained to be in essentially drop coverage, maybe a kind of a high drop coverage, to take away any drives from this guard, which means that you have a massive amount of space between nuanced and the nearest defender. This defender kind of jabs, but he's worried about his player because he's cutting, and so nuanced, upon this defender leaving and heading to the corner over here, he has a massive amount of space. This would be deemed a wide open three. Then we look at the exact next possession. How do the defenders have them? The exact same. This is almost the exact same setup. Nebraska setup. There's no cutter right now, but the big is trailing off. He is there to protect the rim against the drive. nuanced gets it, steps into another uncontested three. This is a good amount of separation that is not going to be able to block the shot. There is no contest there. So you go into halftime, and what is the Ohio State team discussing? They're discussing, okay, this big has hit 2 threes on us. They were relatively open threes. What can we do to change this? And the simple solution, let's just switch. Okay, so if there is a ball screen or dribble handoff, something like that, where there's contact made, just switch. Make them beat us on the inside. Don't let them beat us from the perimeter. What immediately happens? As this ball screen, we notice the defenders switched right there. 51 does not lurk here on the perimeter looking for another three to try and make more threes. He immediately goes to the inside. Okay, the difference here is he now has a guard on him. He doesn't have a post player. He has a guard on him. Is a guard used to guarding a big in the post? No. Okay, he takes this defender out of his element. Same logic as he took the big out of his element when he made the shots on the perimeter. This is an advantageous look for a post player. And then the second issue is when you have a defense or a coach that is going to change defenses, the reality is the message gets slightly confused just because you're having to change the message from what it was at the beginning of the game to the middle of the game. Okay, so now there is a ball screen, a little bit of contact here. One player thinks they are switching, one player thinks they are staying. Okay, so these defenders both decide to essentially go with Vilcher right here, which means that nuanced is left unguarded. You can see that no one is near him right now. This defender reacts way too late, realizing that somebody made a mistake. And again, you have another open three because of the pressure that a shooting post put on the defense. And the final example, this I think highlights the biggest issue. So you get this dribble handoff right here. Defenders coming through, what do? They switch. Both are shooting threats, so they have to switch this. Now, you have an advantage, nuanced on a guard right here. You also have an advantage, this guard on a more post-ish player. So you have an advantage in quickness out here, and you have an advantage in strength/size on the inside. So use both of them to your advantage. Drive the post player, allow nuanced to seal his defender and get between him and the rim, and it puts so much more pressure on the defense with a great pass right here, up when the only spot, he's got 4 inches on him and more in the wingspan. The only spot, the only person who can go get that is your player. Put it right up there for an easy layup. In conclusion, this highlights the benefit that nuanced provides to Nebraska, but not only that, but a shooting big. You can see this with Jokic, you can see this with numerous bigs in the NBA now, and what I think is going to be the future, because it puts so much emphasis on guards and post players in whatever defense you choose to do because of nuanced's versatile ability. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out the link to the Buy Me a Coffee page. I'll put your name or a phrase in the credits. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. But most importantly, have a great rest of your day.